The data dictionary is the dictionary which is the proper organization of the data which is stored in a database. In data dictionary, we have the list of files, the number of records in each file, and the names and each field type. Everything will be stored, everything is stored in the data dictionary. The majority database management system keep data dictionary hidden from the user. Why it keeps hidden from the user? Because to prevent the data from deleting from the end user. It prevents, for protecting our data, it is hidden from the end user. A database management system is nothing without a data dictionary. If we have to use, if we want to use any data, if we want to retrieve any data from the data dictionary, from the database, we first need a data dictionary which gives a proper information to retrieve the particular data. The data dictionary is having different fields like a name. It stores the particular proper name, the primary name of the data. Whatever data we are storing in the data dictionary, which is having a name, is stored in this name field. Next one is a alias. Alias means another name. We can also call a pet name or a different name which is can be called for the particular data. That is also stored in the data dictionary. Next is where used and how used. Whatever data is whatever data we are using, which is stored in the data dictionary, that the information, detailed information of that data is stored here. That where that data is used before or how we can use that data. Next one is a content description. Whatever content, whatever data is there in the data dictionary, the description of the data is stored in this content description. Next and last one is a supplementary information. Whatever supplementary information we are having with this data dictionary is stored in this last field. Okay. Once a data object or control item name and its alias are entered into the data dictionary, consistency in naming can be enforced. That is, if an analysis team member decide to name a newly derived data item, for example, XYZ, but XYZ is already in the dictionary, the case tool supporting the dictionary report a message about duplicate name. This improves the consistency of the analysis model and helps to reduce error. For example, if we are having a particular, we are newly adding or deriving a particular data item or particular data which is having a name, XYZ name. But a XYZ is already exists in this dictionary, then we can use the case tool supporting to the dictionary which reports as a reports about our duplicate names. Means we can't give another the same name to two different files. Okay, that makes our data dictionary a proper, means we can retrieve a particular data. Here we can use a alias to that particular data. Alias means a different name or another name, pet name. Suppose a XYZ is already having with this name, a file is already having with this XYZ name. So we can give a different alias to this XYZ file through which we can identify our file, our data differently. Okay. Data constructs, here are some notation, whatever notations we are using to store the data here that are explained. In first column, all the data constructs are there, means sequence, selection and repetition. In second column, all the notations we can use in the data dictionary. And in the third column, the meaning of these notations. The notations enables a software engineer to represent composite data in one of the three fundamental ways that it can be constructed as a sequence data item, as a selection from among a set of data items, as a repeated data items are grouped. Next one is a example of a data dictionary. Like one name of the data is telephone number. Alias of the data is nothing here. Okay. Where used and how used. Setup generated list as a output. Dial number as a input. Description. What description of this telephone number is having? Telephone number. That is whatever local number or STD number, whatever. Local number is 8 digit and STD number, local numbers means it is having a 8 digit number. STD number can have 5 digit plus 8 digit. Okay, whatever STD number we are having, with this addition, we have to use this 8 digit number. Okay, this STD number plus local number will be a single telephone number. Okay, so this is the description for this telephone number 5. This data is stored in this particular format. Okay, this is the data dictionary. Thank you. Now here we have done with our chapter. Now let's continue with next chapter. Next is a software designing. Next one is a software designing. Whatever we are having a particular software, when we are creating a particular software, we are having these 6 types of blocks or six stages we have to follow. This is the model for the software design, software development. Okay, first one is a planning, second one is a analysis, third is designing, fourth is implementation, testing, then maintenance. Whatever we are planning to build a software, which is the software description, whatever the software used in particular areas, these all are embedded in this planning. Analysis means analyzing the data whatever we are planned for a particular software. Now we are going for third section, that is designing, software designing. Whatever design, whatever design model, whatever our software will be look like is all described in this designing. Okay, these all 6 are the phases of software development. Okay, these all phases are used. These all phases are used to develop a particular software by a software engineer and its team. For implementation, testing and maintenance, we use for planning, analysis, designing, implementation, testing and maintenance, for all these 6 phases, we use a particular tool which is called as a case tool. Case tool is having two different types, uppercase and lowercase. Implementation, testing and maintenance used by the lowercase tools, and design analysis planning are is used uppercase design, uppercase tools. Okay, so let's start with first what is designing. While we are planning for building a building a particular uh, building, house, home, whatever, a particular construction, while making a construction, before that what we do a planning for that construction. Then next phase is a design. First, next one, analyze. We analyze how the plan works. How, whatever we planned for the construction, it working or not working, it will be work or not work. So what that analyze in this second phase, analyzing. Next one is a designing. In designing, what we do or what engineer do, civil engineer does, he or she will create a blueprint of our building. Whatever building we are thinking to build, he or she will create a blueprint for that building. That makes a designing. Likewise, a blueprint for building, we have to give a particular designing for the uh, software to the end user, whatever customer we are having. For them, we have to give a raw design of our software. What our software will look like is is developed here in this designing. Okay, so here is importance of design. Design is a meaningful engineering representation of something that is to be built. It can be traced to a customer requirement. In designing, we can also trace whatever customer requirements are there, whatever customer wants from the software is uh, we can trace all these requirements in this designing phase. Design focus on four areas, which are data, architecture, interfaces, and components. In these four areas, design focus. First one is a data. Whatever data a particular software, the particular software what customer wants, whatever data is available for that software, we can focus on that. Next one is the architecture, how the software will look like is also focused here. Whatever interfaces and whatever components we required are also focused in this designing area, because designing plays a important role. Without designing, we can't develop, we can't create a particular software. For building anything, building any software, creating any software, building any construction, whatever, we just need a particular design in front of us, so we can go through it, we can follow that design to make a proper and better software with all requirements, right? Okay. Whatever software we are designing, whatever software we are building, we have to first design it. Okay. Because of some network issue, we lost. So here are some points of designing. First is preliminary design. Whatever activities carried out in this phase are listed below. First one is a creation of proper algorithm. Before creating a design, before designing a software, we have to make a particular proper algorithm of that software. Defining the modes and states of the system. Whatever states and modes we are using for the system, we have to define in this preliminary design. Next one is the creation of data flow and control flow at the middle level. We have to create data flow and control flow in this preliminary design. Define data structures and related things. Whatever data structures and whatever other things we have to define here. Next one is the creation of sizing and allocation of memory. User interface design. Next one is creation of timeline of the software project. Whatever time limit we have to use, we have to complete our software in the particular time limit. We have to create or we have to describe in this preliminary design. So we can give a particular deadline to the customer or to the end user. Next one is a review process for checking and approval of preliminary design. Last stage is review process. Whatever we have done in this preliminary design, we have to review, we have to approve, we have to check it from the check it and correct it. If it needs any correction, we can correct it also. So these in this phase, first of all, requirement identifies, decompose from the system specification and transform into functional specification. All the requirements are transformed. Okay. Next one is the creation of functional specification for each middle level components is repetitive in nature. Using case tools, this can be achieved. Whatever functional specification are there, but designing is the middle level component, middle level, this is the middle stage of the software development model. Okay. So we can achieve this using case tools. Like on bigger system, plans are created during this phase to help in the control and management of the product. Whatever case tools we are using, we can use a upper case tools for this planning, analysis and design, and lower case tools for implementation, testing and maintenance. The test plan and database definition documents are created here. Whatever test plans, whatever database documents are there are created in this designing phase. The aim of preliminary design is to complete logical design of all the components. Next one is the activities of development team. So here we can discuss whatever activities should have done in the development team. First is prepare preliminary design diagram. Whatever we have designed previous means preliminary design diagram have to prepared by the development team. Next one is a prepare prologues and PDL for the high level functions or objects. Prepare prologue means whatever, what we can say, जी काही प्रस्तावना असते सुरुवातीला आपण डिझायनिंग करताना, ती प्रस्तावना आपल्याला ती क्रिएट करायला लागेल. For Fortran system, prepare prologues and PDL. PDL means program design language to one level below of the subsystem. Next one is a documents. Document the selected design in the preliminary design report. Document the selection design in the preliminary design report. It means include the reuse plan, alternative design discussion, and external interfaces. Fourth one is a conduct the PDR and resolve RIDs. Record design changes for use in detailed design phase, but do not update the preliminary design report. PDR means what? Preliminary design review. And resolve RIDS means rules in the database system. Next, third one is the activity of management team. Activities of development teams we have learned here. We have to prepare preliminary design. Next, prepare prologues. Next, document and select a design in the preliminary design report. Conduct PDR and resolve. Now that are the activities of designing team. Now the activities of management team. First activity is resources, schedules, staffing, training, and other resources. We have to resources means we have to discuss or we have to decide our timetable, whatever time limit we required for this particular software, we have to schedule it here only. Next one is the staffing. What particular employee should have worked with that, which of the particular means giving staffing means applying the particular jobs for the particular employee, means to create a testing team, to create a development team, to create a coding team, to create a maintenance team. Whatever team we need, we have to make it here only. The management team makes the staffing of this project. Next one is a training. If a particular employer, particular team need a different kind of training or need an advanced training, we have to manage it here by the management team. Next, other resources. Whatever other resources we required to develop the software, the management team discussed here only. Next one is a plan, coordinate, and control requirement changes. What management team does? First, it makes a planning, staffing, whatever other resources required, all these things done by the management team. Next one is the planning, coordination, and control requirement changes. Management team need to plan a particular schedule for this software development. Then The management team have to coordinate with the employees, with the staff, with the end user also. And last one is the control requirement changes. Whatever changes the end user is giving continuously, the management team have to control that requirement changes. The management team can ask that particular end user for um, giving the changes at the same time. So it can control the requirements of the end user. Control the quality of the preliminary design process and its product. The management team can control the whatever design, whatever reviews are there. The management team can control the quality of that design in day-to-day management activities. Okay, so the product will be a better and better. Next one is a plan and orderly transition to the detailed design phase. It controls the preliminary design review and confirm that they have met all the exit criteria before we say that phase is complete or we have done with our all designing. It first confirm. Who confirm? The management team. Next, activities of requirement definition team. What is the third team? Requirement definition team. So what the activities of this team? First one is a continue to resolve requirement issues and TBS means task-based development. It continues to resolve all the requirement issues. Next is a participate in design walkthrough and PDR. It requirement team participate in designing and also PDR means preliminary design review. Next point is design principles. Next point is design principles. Next point is design principles. Okay. Software design is both a process and a model also. Means designing is a process itself and a model itself. In designing, we have to create a particular model, and the creating this model is itself a process. The design process is a sequence of steps that enables the designer to describe all aspects of the software to be built. Basic design principles enable the software engineer to navigate the design process. A set of principles of software design which have been adapted and extended in following list. What design principle says? Design should be simple. It should not be complicated. It should not be more vast. It should not be difficult to understand by the end user as well as the engineer. Designing should be traceable. A design should have to be like that a particular engineer or particular development team can trace that design easily. Next is a design process should not suffer from tunnel vision. A good designer consider alternative approach, judging each based on requirement of the problem. The resources available to do the job and designing concept. And the designing should not be in a repetitive ways. Means relevant wheels means whatever data, whatever system we are making in designing, it should not be repetitive. Next one is the design should be traceable. We are done. We have to the whatever employee is working with the software, he or she can trace the designing easily. So designing should be traceable. It should be easy. The designing should exhibit uniformly and integration. The design should not be more complicated. It should be exhibited uniformly. A design should be structured to accommodate changes. Whatever changes are accepted from the end user in the middle of the designing, it should be the designing should be structured like it can accommodate whatever changes are coming from the user, whatever changes required by the end user. The design should be structured to degrade tenderly even when aberrant data events or operating conditions are arises. Properly designed software should never explode. Okay, coding means not designing and designing means not coding. Coding and designing are both are the different parts. While designing, we are just designing a model of the software. We are not making a software. It is just a model. And while coding, we don't use designing. While we use only algorithms for the particular software while coding. Designing should be reviewed to minimize conceptual semantic errors. There is sometimes a tendency to focus on finer points when the design is reviewed. Next one is a module level concepts. Modular design has become accepted approach in all engineering disciplines. A modular design reduces difficulty, facilitates changes, and result in easier implementation. It also helps in parallel development of different parts of the system. The concept of modularity has been adapted for almost decade. Software is divided into separately named and addressable components called modules. There are some effective modular systems. First one is a modular decomposability. A design method provides a semantic mechanism for decomposing the problem into subproblems. Next is a modular composability. A design method allows existing or reusable design components to be assembled into new system. Modular understandability. A modular can be understood as a stand-alone unit. It will be easier to build and easier to change. Next is modular continuity. Small changes to the system requirement result in changes to individual modules rather than system-wide changes. Modular protection. An abnormal condition occurs within a module and its effects are constrained within the module. If you are having any queries, you can unmute yourself and ask. Or else we'll stop here and continue in next lecture. Okay, next lecture will be our last lecture. So we have to take an overview of all the other chapters. Okay.